Okay, here we have a pull start from a Robin Subaru EH41 motor. This is on a pressure washer that I have. The cable has broken. The spring that retracts the cable has also broken. You can see I've removed it from the motor already. There are 4 screws that go into those 4 locations. Now, I'm going to replace the pull start cable on here, as well as the spring that goes along with it. I did actually buy a starter rope from Jack's Small Engine. So this is the starter rope that works with this machine. It is designed for this, and I'll replace that. I also did order a recoil spring from Jack's Small Engine. I looked it up online. Jack's Small Engine is a website online that sells a lot of parts, and they actually make it quite easy to buy parts from them. And so here is the recoil start spring. So once it's off, what happens is you can see when you pull the cable, see those white legs that come out? They grab inside the machine, and then that's what actually turns it. So first thing we've got to do once it's off is to actually take this center screw out. I did loosen this screw up already once because it was extremely difficult to remove the first time. It was very tight. You can see what it looks like there. I'm going to hold it in my hand. Okay. Then pull this off, and we can see this piece. Then we should be able to lift this whole thing out. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and pull these pieces off right here. I'm looking at which way it goes so that when I pull them off, I can put them back together. As you can see, here is the inside of that, and let's flip this over. Okay, here we can see the recoil spring. It's broken. It obviously doesn't look anything like this. This one will, the new one will go into here. So I'm going to pull this apart. So let's move this. First thing we'll do is we'll pull this out. You can see where I attempted to bend it earlier into place. There we go. Okay, as we can see, this one has a band around it to keep the spring in place until we decide to remove it and put it in there. Thing is that this piece has to hook right here, and hopefully I get the turn correct. So the center piece obviously hooks here like that, and then the outer piece hooks onto here like that. And then if I've done it right and not reversed it, then I can make it work. So to me it seems like it's got to fit in here, so I'm probably safest to go ahead and see if I can figure out a way to drop it in there. Use a little screwdriver. To slide their little band, and I fully expect, let's see, a little bit of excitement. Maybe it'll spin around on me a little bit as it fills that space. Okay. Right. So it certainly did fill that space up quite nicely. But I got to get it tightened back up a little bit, which isn't all that hard. It's not like it requires a lot of strength to do that. get it back in there. So I should be able to just twist it with my fingers. On this particular model, you know, it's really not that hard just to do it with your hand, like that. Alright, not graceful, but hopefully we've got it lined up. Hopefully it's in the right direction. I do need to slide this around because I'm trying to hook it into that. So I do need to slide it around until it hooks into that. Okay, that works fairly nicely. Let's just tie a knot in here so that it's nice and tight. Now, so that I get it nice and tight, I'm going to go into it and pull. Alright. Now, we'll feed that right down through here, like that. Pull it up. Okay. Now let's look, because it feeds out through there. So the reality is when I pull, it's going to come out, and then it's got to wind itself back up. So, right, so we're going to roll it back up. It's got a groove. You can see it's got a groove in there. I don't know if that really make a huge difference, but it does have a groove in there, like that. Okay. So I'm going to spin it around one more so that it's got some recoil already on it, and I should be able to take it on around. Come on, there we go. Now see, there, that's more like it. So now it actually has some recoil to it before I even really get to pull. It'll pull itself all the way back in. That's what we want. Alright, couple of rounds to this, and we'll get it through there. Okay, now let's try tying this thing again. So we just make a typical knot. And once that tightens up, it should stay. Putting some tension on it, that should be fine. Now that recoil is on there. Okay, now when I pull, ideally, these things will go shooting out. Now there was a little spring in the bottom of them. Whoops, oh dear. I dropped that spring into it, so I'm going to turn it over and get it to fall back out in my hand. That little spring, and we'll try again. They go on these little pins, not a big deal. And when I yank, those flip out and they grab. Alright, same now with this one. We'll put it right here, like that. And then these little, see these grooves right here, this groove and this groove, there's this knob here and knob here that those have to sit in, like that, and that will make sure that when we, that should, see that? It should fire those things out. So now we can tighten this up. Put some, I'm going to make sure I get a little strength on that if I can. Okay, so okay, now we're set up at the machine, and it's time to put this thing back on the machine, just like this. Okay, it's a little hard to see, I know. We have these little short bolts, and you know, pick the right socket here. I know it's one of these. Right, there it is. Okay. In this case, it happens to be a 10 millimeter, which makes sense. And the first thing I'm going to do is line up the holes. There's one. Line up, so let's try a different one. There we go. There's two. I'll try this bottom one again. There's three. Now obviously I could go ahead and probably torque those down. See if I can reach over there and see it without getting in the way of the camera. Something doesn't feel right on that one. Let's see. Oh, it's just tight. It just tightened all the way up. Okay. My arm's probably in the way a lot on that one. Yep. Okay. Now, let's see. So, once again, this is an EH41 Robin Subaru motor that's on a pressure washer, and this was the pull start cable and the recoil spring that needed to be replaced.